Hey, it's MK, and I am back playing along with the Stretch the Sketch gang, and here is the sketch that we will be trying to stretch. Now, when I first saw this sketch, I was super stoked. So, here are the papers that I picked out. A really old textured cardstock from Close to My Heart, this gorgeous beehive print from Vicki Boutin's paper pad, but I don't know which one. I have several of my photos that I put 2 photos on one 4x6 page. That way I could shrink my photos rather easily. And then look at this. Does that not look like one half of the sketch? And then I flipped it and have another half. It's a basketball court, you guys. Oh my gosh, as if you can't read. I know, but I'm so super stoked. So if you guys don't know, I have a machine that allows me to create things for a store. And what I did was I downloaded a diagram of a basketball court, and I put this on paper. Yes, I did. I put it in my machine and I etched it on paper, and I am just over the moon thrilled at how it looked. So, trying to figure out how I want all of my photos to go. One of the photos do not make it on the layout because it kind of sort of doesn't go with the flow of how I wanted this layout to look. So basically what I'm going to do is my try and true when I want to put a sketch in the center of a ton of photos is I basically put the 12 by 12 in a normal basis. I put the 12 by 12 in the center, and then I line it up with 4 by 6 horizontal photos, and then it looks like I stretched it, but I really didn't. All I did was put it in the middle of a 2-page layout. Woo! Genius. Anyways, no, I'm not. I stole the idea from somewhere some time ago. But this time, I did kind of sort of stretch it because this isn't a full 12 by 12 diagram of the basketball court. However, it is close enough, and I'm only putting about 3¼ inches on both sides of the court to show the rest of the photos that I want to show or that I want to scrap about. Now, this is my son's very first game, very first practice, brand new team, everything, and they nailed it. Like, they did so well together. They played like they've been playing this whole, like they've always been on a team, but this is a very first for everybody. They do play on, like during, give me a hint, recess and whatnot. So they do play together, but as far as actually, doing the teamwork and it being meaningful, I guess is what I'm trying to say, is where it, is where it kind of counts. But we were stoked at how well they played together and everything. And they just all worked as a great team, honestly. So anywho, I did kind of also, instead of trying to figure out, a cluster for that very small piece in the center, I decided to put my clusters on both of the larger half rings of the court. I'm going to do a larger cluster on the right side instead of the left side. So I did kind of flip that as well, just because of the direction that my photos were facing. So if my son was running in the other direction, I definitely would have put, my clusters on the left. So it was just basically the direction of, how the photos were facing is what determined how my layout was going to go. Anyways, when I first started laying this out, all I had was photos in a basketball court. That was it. I had no idea what I was going to do. I was so super stoked, and I was like, you know what? The court is fancy enough. I'm done. I'm good to go. I don't need anything else other than all of these really cool photos. But then as I kept creating, I was like, nah, I do need kind of sort of something else. My son picked out the title for this layout, so I'm so super stoked that I got him involved. We also created a smaller version of this court on a single piece of paper to give as a gift, a thank you gift for his coach. And so we're going to put it in a frame, and then all of the players can journal around it or say thank you around the frame, and then that way the coach has kind of like a little thank you from everybody. So I thought that was kind of cool, and the fact that my son thinks it's pretty cool too, because he's not very impressed. He's a boy. He's like, yeah, you did good, Mom, whatever. He's a teenage boy. So honestly, that's the best I get. But for this, I mean, he was thrilled, and to see the look on his face and the reaction that he had was, I mean, it just made a mama's heart proud, honestly. So I wanted to make this title. It is a rather long title, and I wanted to do it in black. And I knew right from the get-go that I did not have enough black alphas in one set to do this title. So I brought out all my black alphas and I started building off the word court. And I knew what letters I wanted for the word court, but I did not have a T, and I was trying to use a V as a U. And when I first did it, I was like, man, that looks terrible. So, and then normally what I do is I flip an L upside down. So the T portion of the L is only, like the leg of the L is only one portion of the T. And in my brain, it kind of works, especially if it's at the beginning or the end of a word. It's kind of just one of those fancy things where I'm just going to go to the left or I'm going to go to the right, depending on if I'm at the beginning or the end. So in my brain, it works really well. However, this L was not working. So what I did was I left it as an L, and then I found this little squiggly line and decided to put that as my T, and I really liked it. So I also spelled out the word life in the same alpha, and I really wished I could have done the whole title in that alpha because of the fact that it had the stitching. And I know the stitching's on a football, but I kind of wanted the stitching because of the ball, even though it wasn't going to work. So in this larger font that I wanted the word better in, I didn't have an R, so I thought I'd have to make one. So I went ahead and I makeshift one. And then the smaller letters that I used for is and the, I didn't have an E, so I just cut off the humps of the B, and I made my own E. You guys, I'm all about making it happen. If I can read the word, I don't care if it was a B. I don't care if it was a Q. I don't care if it was a V and now it's an A. It's all a trick of the eye in one sense or another. And so I want to use them up. And having a whole set of alphas because I no longer have any vowels is kind of one of those things where it's like, now it's going to sit in my stash forever. No, I'm going to make it work one way or the other. All right, so then I got a wild hair and decided to create my own basketball embellishments. Do I have a die cutting machine? Yes, I do. But this was a quick and simple design that I decided that I was going to go ahead and, use my punches. They're right there. I don't have to fire up the machine, go to my computer or my cell phone, pick out the design, figure out how big I want it. Nothing. This was a whole bunch of circles. And then of course right now it looks like a baseball. That's awesome. I'll remember that next time. No, I don't have anybody that wants to play baseball though. Not yet. But anyways, it just looked so simple. And I thought, you know what? I could do this out of a circle. Not a big deal. And I do have to say that the, what is that called? The inking of the edges definitely is what made this work, in all honesty. So I'm just going to go ahead and put the puzzle back together, and I'm stretching them out. No pun intended. I am stretching them out so I have that black line of the base of, the base that I'm gluing them to. So that way that it represents the stitches, but I did not want to bring in white for that. Now, when I first started thinking of this, actually my brain wanted to do purple, black, and silver because that is the colors of my son's uniform. That's his school colors. But instantly I wanted to do orange and black. I just, because of the basketball court, the tone and the shade of brown, I honestly just wanted to do black and orange and leave it at that. And I am just so ecstatic. Like I couldn't tell you. All right. So this time, instead of using my pencil, I wanted to pull out my punch. I thought, hey, I could probably do this with my punch. Now I didn't get as close in the center as I did with the first ball. And the reasoning, now it looks really like a baseball. Oh, squirrel. The reasoning why I didn't want to go too close in the center is because I didn't want to get too close. I mean, not that I don't have other pieces of cardstock that I could have used. I mean, look at that whole strip. I could have punched all the balls, but I didn't. I just really wanted to kind of try an experiment to see, you know, where that line is for me. And I'm just playing around. You know, it doesn't have to be perfect. And by the time that they all get on the layout, you don't even notice. I don't notice that the balls are kind of two different ones. In all honesty, one could be close up and the other one could be far away. Who knows? I don't know. Finishing off this second one, but I did want to leave them both in there. Had I made both of these, just so that way you guys could get an idea of either using scissors or using your punches. So absolutely. I love trying to figure out ways to use those tools that I had to have and that I brought into my craft room over and over and over again. I had to do that. All right, so I am going to go ahead and figure out whether or not this is about all that I want to put on my layout. I mean, right now it looks really good. I'm okay with that, but I want to see, do I need a third basketball? Debating. Let me see. Do I like it up there? Because I know I like the one down here. Nope. I don't need a third basketball. It's done. It's over with. I love it. I don't need a third basketball. But I am thinking that I could add a few more things. So I went into my bulky bins. I pulled out orange and black, and now I'm just going through the die cuts. Now, most of these die cuts, in all honesty, are pocket cards that I have cut up and cut out of my life. I fussy cut a bunch of stuff out. I kept colors that I knew were hard, like the two colors that are kind of rounded corners that I just put on both sides of the photos. That color is really hard to find. And at first I was like, is it not orangey enough? But I decided to go with it. And then I found Today Was in orange on black. So I was like stoked about that. I'm not sure if I'm going to use the word the best because I don't kind of like how that looks, but I do like the words check this out at the top and then scrolling down the photos, which is kind of like, you know, anyways, I'm such a dork. You know, checking it out, and it's my camera going as fast as it can as he's making a basket. Basically is what it is. And I'm so excited about that, you guys. Anyways, and then of course I picked the number 1, which was from an old My Mind's Eye paper pack that I picked up. No, not paper pack. What is it called? Help me out. Pocket card. Yes. And so instead of just using Today Was and the best ever or the best or whatever I had. Yeah, the best. I just decided to do Today Was. And it was. And it, you know, you fill in the blank. It doesn't have to be a complete sentence, in all honesty. Like I said, my son picked out the title for this. I kind of gave him a couple options, and this is the one that he liked the most. So I was like, yay, super stoked. And then I had that old little paper clip from, oh my gosh, what is that called? The Smash Books? Oh yeah, I got some of that stuff still too, you guys. I don't throw anything away. Honestly, if it's unique and different, it stays in my stash forever because I will have a use for it. And it was perfectly orange. I am going to use it, but I like the word that it says want, because you have to want to do things like this. And so I thought the word want, even though I don't have anything else to go with it or anything, it is a want. He wants this. So anyways, check this out. Was a little bit too white for me, and so I'm just trying to darken it up a little bit. So I went and I got my frayed burlap ink, distress ink, and a sponge, and I am just going to ink it up. Now my sponge system, I want to say thank you to Kim Ferguson. I found her on YouTube. She is a fellow close to my heart consultant, or was. I'm not sure if she still is. But yes, she redid her craft room and showed that off, and I was hooked ever since. So thank you, Kim. All right, here it is. This is my layout. Again, I was just so super stoked when I saw the design that was picked and I saw a basketball court. As soon as I stretched it out, I was like, oh my gosh. Anyways, be sure to check out everyone else. I am excited to see what everyone else does with this sketch, because it is a really cool sketch. I can't wait to play with it again, honestly. And hopefully maybe I'll get basketball out of my system. But thank you so much for joining me today. Please be sure to check out everyone else that is playing along with Stretch the Sketch. Their links are all down below in the description box, and I will check you all later. Bye.